Welcome back, wealthy people, to a new episode on the Wealth Up channel, where we discuss everything new around Tesla, the Cybertruck, and other EV news. Today, we will take a look at how Musk was right again, how Tesla will halt production on some of its vehicles, and of course we have the Tesla video of the day for you later on in the video. Make sure to leave us a like if you're excited and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's get into it. Tesla's Q1 21 deliveries prove Elon Musk was right about the Model S and X in 2019. Tesla released its production and delivery figures for the first quarter of 2021 earlier today, and it proved that the CEO Elon Musk was right about the Model S and X not being crucial to the company's ultimate long-term growth. During Tesla's Q3 2019's earnings call, New Street research analyst Pierre Ferragu asked what Musk thought about the S and X moving forward and how Tesla planned to deal with the cannibalizing effect of the Model 3, the car that overtook the popularity of the company's flagship vehicles. Referring to the Model S and X as niche products, Musk always seemed to know that Tesla's flagship vehicles wouldn't take the company into mass market growth. I mean, they're very expensive, made in low volume. To be totally frank, we're continuing to make them more for sentimental reasons than anything else. They're really of minor importance to the future, Musk said. He was right. Looking at Tesla's Q1 2021 delivery figures, there's a simple dash under the Model S and X category, symbolic of the shut-down S and X production lines that are being rerouted to the Fremont factory in preparation for the production of the refresh vehicles. Tesla only delivered S and X vehicles in the company's inventory. Despite the absence of 50% of the company's all-electric models, Tesla reported nearly 100,000 more vehicles in Q1 2021 than it did in Q1 of 2020, moving from 88,400 to 184,800. This is where Musk's outlook becomes incredibly accurate, proving that his 2019 quotation regarding the Model S and X's importance to the future is relatively minuscule. Tesla doesn't need its two flagship vehicles to grow or sustain demand. The Model 3 and the Model Y do that. It's evident that Musk holds high regard for his two flagship vehicles. They're great cars. I mean, the Model S literally won Motor Trend Best Car in History, by the way. It's incredible. Especially the new one with variable dampening suspension, hospital operating room, HEPA filters for air purification, the Raven powertrain. It's the fastest car in the world, and it's just so easy to drive. It makes you feel like Superman driving a car. It's incredibly safe. It's just an amazing vehicle, Musk said. However, he also realizes that the Model 3 and Model Y are just better vehicles, while the Model S and X are art pieces, basically. Tesla has never been about making fancy, amazing, eye-catching vehicles, at least not in the long term. The Model S and X were both head-turners. The S, with its sporty look, was not the stereotypical electric car. Musk once said that driving an electric car didn't have to be boring, slow, or golf cart-like experience. It was supposed to be fun, fast, exhilarating, and was, and still is. The X, with its falcon wing doors and comparable performance to the Model S, only solidified this. But they were ultimately just the bait for the average car buyer. In the mid-2010s, if people saw a Tesla, you can bet their heads gravitated towards it. They were rare, and in some areas it was probably pretty close to seeing a Lamborghini or a Ferrari for some people. This was all part of Musk's master plan. Well, it described the capital-raising efforts of the S and X to welcome in a line of affordable vehicles like the Model 3 and the Y. The master plan also involved catching consumers' attention by offering unbelievable cars that were not powered by gas. The S and X simply opened the doors for the 3 and the Y, eventually opening the doors for another line of even more affordable models. Musk was always right about the Model S and Model X. They were never going to take Tesla into the stratosphere. They were only going to take the first two steps in the plan that made Tesla the most valuable company in the world. Without the Model S and X, Tesla would be just fine. The company's Q1 2021 delivery and production figures only solidify the fact that the two flagship vehicles that brought Tesla to its initial popularity were never going to be the vehicles that expanded the movement of electrification, nor made Tesla the household name that it has become in a period of 3 short years. Alright guys, it's time for the video of the day. Let's take a look. How was that for a video? Let us know what you think about it in the comment section below. Would you like your video on here? Then leave us a mail on the address in the description. Let's get back to the video. Tesla temporarily halts production of its Model S and Model X. Tesla has not built any of its two most expensive cars, the Model S and Model X, so far this year. Tesla did not respond to any questions for the reason for the production decision. Even so, the automaker still managed to produce a record number of cars in its most recent quarter, as it built 180,338 of the Model 3 sedan and Model Y SUV, both of which being less expensive models that made up nearly 90% of the company's overall sales in 2020. The total edged past Tesla's previous record set in the last 3 months of 2019 by nearly 600 cars. Tesla actually sold slightly more vehicles to customers during the first 3 months of the year than it built, using vehicles that it had in inventory at the end of 2020. Its deliveries totaled 182,780 of the Model 3 and Model Y, and 2,020 of the Model S and X. The Model S, which has an $80,000 starting price, was the first car Tesla ever completely assembled itself, starting production in 2012. The Model X debuted in 2015. Tesla said it is ramping up production of the Model S and X, which were recently updated with redesigns. But automakers come out with updated versions of vehicles all the time without shutting production for 3 months. And this shutdown appears to be different from what Elon Musk said on January 27th, when he discussed Tesla's fourth quarter earnings with investors and analysts. We're super excited to announce the new Model S and X are in production now and will be delivered in February, he said at the time. The Model S, we're actually in production now, the Model X will be a little later. Gordon Johnson, an analyst at GLJ Research who is a frequent critic of Tesla, pointed to Musk's earlier comments. There will need to be an explanation. This clearly goes against what Musk stated, he said. But Dan Ives, tech analyst with Wedbush Securities, said the overall sales numbers for Tesla were much better than the most bullish estimates. He said that a shortage of computer chips, which has affected production of vehicles at automakers around the world, left most analysts expecting that Tesla would likely build somewhere between 150,000 to 170,000 vehicles in the quarter. He said Tesla probably shut production of the Model S and X cars because of the chip shortage and instead uses the chips it has to build the higher volume vehicles. The S and X are on the slow sunset path, I've said. The demand for those models has been exhausted. It was telegraphed Tesla would build a negligible number of those vehicles in the quarter. Based on demand, it makes sense they were going to bet their chips on the Model 3 and Model Y. Tesla is now about those models and the upcoming Cybertruck. Other automakers have shut production of some of their lesser popular models to keep the supply of chips for their better selling models, such as pickup trucks and large SUVs, which not coincidentally are their most profitable models. But Johnson said Tesla likely was making as much as 5 times more profit on each of the more expensive Model S's and Model X than the Model 3 and the Model Y. They won on volume, yet they're getting killed on the margins, he said. And that's it for today's video. Do you think Tesla will keep the lead on the EV market in the years to come? Make sure to let us know in the comment section below. Also, leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This video was brought to you by Neil Glasgow, and as always, see you next time, wealthy people.